Dear students, welcome to our class on Climate Change, United Nations Environment Program, IPCC's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's Climate Change 2007, which is the Nobel Peace Prize Laureate 2007. In the previous three classes, we tried to understand statement number one, present day. Under present day 1, the conclusion was the climate is changing. That's number 1. 2, as far as the future is concerned, 7 statements we have discussed. In all the 7 statements, the stress point is whether it is temperature change or precipitation intensity, duration, or areas of occurrence, or some other extreme events. The future they have given in the 7 statements. Now, so as far as the actions are concerned, equal number of future they have given. So what are the 7 statements? The first 3 I have discussed in this class, in the previous class. In this class we are going to learn 4 what are the actions. The 16th statement is the conclusion that I cover in the next class. So that completes our basic target of what is 2007, okay, why IPCC was given Nobel Peace Laureate Prize, okay, 2007. So from there we try to build our future on the future learning on the agricultural meteorology, okay. So this, keeping this point in view, in this class the actions, okay, first 3 actions we studied in the previous class, 4 more actions. If you have time, kindly write point number 12, that is in the actions. Actions, it is 4 in the full key statements. Statement number 12, or in the action it is 4. Please write if you have time. Vulnerability to climate change. Vulnerability to climate change can be exacerbated by other stresses. Vulnerability to climate change can be exacerbated by other stresses, meaning climate change is there, but it is further triggered by other stresses. What are those? In 1 or 2 lines I would like to explain to you. See, non-climatic stresses can increase the vulnerability to climate change by reducing the resilience and also reduce the adaptive capacity because of resource deployment, resource otherwise redeployment to competing or essential needs. I would like to explain this statement. We have some competing needs, okay, we have some resources. So non-climatic stresses, certain non-climatic stresses always need some sort of you can say relief, okay, because they are the competing or essential needs to be met. So in that background, the climate change adding to the competing needs. So you need to have reallocate the funds or reallocate the resources. Funds are one, okay, reallocate the resources. That is the meaning of it. For example, coral reefs, if you take the coral reefs, there are 2 stresses on coral reefs. Number 1 stresses, as far as climate change stress is concerned, increasing the water temperature leading to coral bleaching. If water is there in the oceans, okay, oceans. So temperature is increasing, one way acidity is increasing. Now, so this is the climate related. Now, what is the non-climate related issue here? As I said 1 minute back, non-climate stresses have some importance in certain social environment. So we need to redeploy those resources for the climate change. This is important. Now, what is the non-climate stress on the coral reefs? I just try to give you coral reefs. In the non-climate stresses on coral reefs include marine pollution. This is a very serious thing. Marine pollution, sediments from eroding river basins, and chemicals entering into the oceans. Chemicals entering sediment from the river basins, above that pollution. So these are the non-climatic stresses. The climatic stress is, as I said, okay, climatic stress is increasing the temperature, increasing the acidity. That is coral bleaching is happening. Okay, now these are the things that needed redeployment of the resources. So now there is a need for some sort of arrangement, whether you call it as administrative, whether you call it as financial resources, whether you call it as okay, policy matters, regulations otherwise. So you have to do it. Another small example is see, there is an example that is given in this 2007 IPCC report. What is that? See, lower than normal receipts of rainfall in Sahel region, okay, have contributed to reductions in the area of the Lake Chad, CHAD, Chad. There is a lake Chad. Okay, here the problem is Sahel. Okay, Sahel in Africa, Sahel. There is a Chad river. Here there are two problems. One problem is natural rainfall that is coming and then giving the water resources, that is reducing on one side. Second thing is, please listen very carefully, from the catchment area and water is coming to this Chad lake, what is happening? Some irrigation structures, some policy decisions, some compelling local decisions which needed immediate attention, as I said 2 minutes back. So water resources are used for excellent purposes, for drinking water, for industry, for agriculture, everything. But that is another added problem from the non-climatic side. Climatic side is rainfall is reducing. Second thing is water that is entering into Chad, okay, basin, okay, it is reducing. So coral reefs, this in the Sahel, Chad are the two examples that are given by IPCC. Now the key statement 13, if you have kindly a little time, please write. Future vulnerability depends on not only climate change but also on development pathway. It not only on the climate change but also on the development pathway. Two important points I would like to say. Please write these two things: economic development and social development. Only these two words you please write: economic development and social development. Now, here, point number, key statement 13 says, the social development policies or the economic development of policies shall take care of climate change. This is only one statement I would like to give as far as key statement 13 is concerned. So, our social responsibility, we have to provide food, we have to give shelter, we have to give clothing. These are the basic things. When human population increases, these are the things to be provided for the humans. Okay. Now, when it is a social responsibility of either administration or a system in any region of the world, second thing is the economics. So, people must be empowered economically very, very strong. When we take these two into consideration, there should be a balance between social and economic development with the backdrop of climate change. This is what the key statement 13 says. Key statement 14 is very, very simple. What is that? Sustainable development. Please write: sustainable development may reduce vulnerability to climate change. Sustainability, okay, otherwise sustainable development may reduce vulnerability to climate change, and climate change here is the same statement in another way, and climate change may impede nations' abilities to achieve sustainable development pathways. So these two are okay, positive and positive only. Two pluses, winning and you win and I win statement like this. Now here, the sustainable development can reduce vulnerability to climate change by enhancing two things. Sustainability development, as far as climate change is concerned, sustainability development involves two things: adaptive capacity and increasing resilience. Please write these words: adaptive capacity capacity and of course climate resilience. Okay, in other words, increasing resilience. These two, only this much I would like to explain to you that okay, there are certain goals. Tomorrow what is my goal, next week what is my goal, for the next month what is my goal, for next year, for million, like that. So whenever we take, as far as 14th statement is concerned, sustainable development can reduce vulnerability to climate change by enhancing adaptive capacity. We develop our capacity to adapt. This is what I would like to say. With what increasing resilience, okay, we can go for increasing confidence in adaptive capacity. In other words, we develop resilience for increasing climate, we develop increasing resilience capacity in us, so that we can adapt to the climate change. So the 15th statement, as far as the actions is concerned, please write many impacts can be avoided. Many impacts can be avoided, reduced or delayed by mitigation. I repeat once again, many impacts can be avoided, reduced or delayed. So in other words, as agrometeorologists, we always say from class 1 in the UGP or PhD, there are three things. First, we try to avoid any calamity is there, we try to avoid. Then what is the next thing? We try to mitigate pre or post calamity. Third thing is we have to get adapted. This is inevitable. So now here the 15th key statement says very clearly that many impacts can be avoided, reduced or delayed. So anything you can say. Here the points that were stressed are key statement number 1. If we come back to key statement number 1, climate is changing is the conclusion. Present day climate is changing. The future, there also trends of increasing temperatures, or you can say the extreme events, how they are occurring, what is the intensity, and the other stresses we have discussed. In the future, as far as this key statement number 15 is concerned, many things can be avoided. See, if this year is 2021, the statements that were given are 2007. Okay, now it came in the form of books by 2008. At least 13 valuable years have elapsed. In these years, the projected temperature change are increasing. The projected disasters, the projected precipitation change, whatever it may be. To what extent these statements are very clear. For that, our discussion for the last 3 classes, and tomorrow also concluding class I will tell. Here, temperature change in the next 50 years to come. Okay, definitely it is proved beyond doubt that temperature is increasing. Now, when the temperature is increasing, at 50% level of reductions of the emissions, what is going to happen? At 80% of the reductions in the emissions, okay? Whether it is methane, carbon dioxide, fluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons, nitrous oxide, whatever it may be, emissions reduction. Now, once we do emissions reduction at 50% level, what is going to happen? At 80% level, what is going to happen? Here, the key statement 15 says that inevitable, if temperature is increasing, it is inevitable. In that case, what is going to happen? First thing is water. Okay, every living thing needs water. So it is estimated that across the globe, approximately 2 billion people are expected to be a shortage of water. However, with our adaptive capacity, with our resilience, with our redeployment of resources, even if 50% increase is there, even if 80%, not 50% reduction is there, 80% reduction is there, even otherwise also we have to adapt. This is the conclusion of the key statement number 15. Thanking you for your patient hearing. In the next class tomorrow, I give the conclusion, that is the key statement 16. Thanking you very much.